What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Kevin Jackwitz, and this is the Cage Review. And I wanted to touch on a topic that has been really big lately, and I guess I just wanted to share my views, just because it's such a hot topic right now, and unfortunately a very sad topic. After the Parkland shooting, everybody's talking about gun control. Should we have it? Should we not have it? Are talking about, is this a gun issue? Is this a mental health issue? Is this other issues combined? And here's my view on things. Just as a layman, just somebody on the outside looking in, but maybe somebody with a little bit of common sense. Left wing is going to say one thing, right wing is going to say something completely different. I don't agree with either. I really don't. I have always been vocal about my personal detest for guns. Having said that, I support the Second Amendment. I do. I believe that if you want a gun to protect yourself and your family, more power to you. I do not think that that's wrong. So if you want to go get a gun for yourself, that's fine. Do I think that we need what they call assault weapons? They're actually just rifles, and it doesn't matter what kind of rifle it is, it's still a rifle. I think that having a gun to protect your family is one thing. I think that having semi-automatic and automatic weapons is something completely different. I think that we do need to establish boundaries in what is a weapon for self-defense and what is a weapon for an attack. Something that is designed to kill as many people as quickly as possible. And unless you're getting bum rushed by a bunch of people in your home, there is absolutely no reason to have semi-automatic weapons. Turned into automatic weapons for sure. That's my take on it. I support your right to defend yourself. I don't think we need all these semi-automatic and automatic weapons. I don't think there's really any place for them in residential homes. And this is just, like I said, one person on the outside looking in. You don't hunt with semi-automatic weapons. You hunt usually with a shotgun or a standard rifle. So there's really no reason to have, AR-15s. It just doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. And I absolutely agree that it's not a gun issue with these mass shootings, and I want to be clear on what I mean by that. It's not a gun issue. We have had guns for over 200 years. We have had assault rifles for way longer than this has been going on. It's really been prevalent in the last 20 years and more prevalent really in the last decade. And this is something I touched upon in a previous post. Something has changed within this time that has given the perception that this is okay to do now for people that have these mental conditions, and I believe that it is a mental condition. There seems to be a lot more people with these mental conditions though. So we have to look at a lot of things. People can blame it on a lot of things, and you can blame it on guns all you want. Trust me, at the end of the day, guns aren't really the issue. You can make a homemade bomb just as easily as you can get a gun. You can, like right now, there's a big acid attack thing going on in Europe. I think it was in Great Britain, but I'm not entirely sure. Acid attacks. So it's not a gun issue. There's an issue with something going on up here that is a disconnect from the rest of society for some of these individuals. And you can blame it on whatever you want. You can blame it on the fact that our generation did a lot more drugs than the previous generation. You can blame it on chemicals in the food. You can blame it on parents being overly pampering to their kids and not disciplining them enough. You can blame it on whatever you want. The truth is, it's not a simple issue. It's not just going to be one thing that solves the whole world's problem when it comes to this. I think when things like this happen, people have to have an enemy. They have to have something to fight for. But most people don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and so they just spit out a bunch of garbage. Now, I agree that there should absolutely be much stricter, not just stricter, but much stricter qualifications when getting guns, and especially guns such as this, AR-15s, things like that. I think it's highly important that we do that. I believe in people having the right to defend themselves, have a gun if they want it. I support that. But I am absolutely not against tightening up what it takes for a person to get a gun. And if they have any type of history of mental illness, they don't need a gun, period. Point blank, they don't need a gun. History has already proven that people with mental illness having a gun is a bad idea. So, you know, when people just say, oh, we need to get rid of guns and, you know, we need to take away assault rifles, here's another problem with that. How many guns are in this country already? Legally or illegally, it doesn't matter, they're here. And it is just as easy to get a gun illegally as it is legally. So, unless you have a massive sweep of the entire country to take away automatic rifles and semi-automatic rifles, it's not really going to do anything to stop what's already there. And I'm pretty sure that if the government were to try to take away everybody's semi-automatics, blood would be spilt. And I'm not saying the blood's not being spilt now, but I'm just saying it's not an easy fix at this point. The problem is too big now. And that's an unfortunate state that we're in. We've allowed it to get this far, and now this is where we're at. But you can't just say, oh, well, we need to take semi-automatics out of, you know, the market completely. It doesn't matter if they're off the market. There's still so many guns out there, and if, like I said, if you try to take them away from the owners who have legally bought them, it's not going to go over well, especially in some of these, you know, very rural country places where guns are a big thing. You know, the problem is just too big, and there's not a simple answer. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of people aren't getting. I wish we would have started on a better track, but we haven't, and this is where we're at. So this is my thought process on this whole situation. I support people owning guns. I do believe we need to tighten up our mandates as to what it takes to get a gun, and certainly get a little tighter with our mental health checks. I think that will help a lot. But at the end of the day, the problem is just too big. You can't blame it on one thing. You can't blame it on two things. It's a collection of shit that has been built up over decades, and now we're here. I do believe that social media and the news are actually a lot to blame. And I've talked about that in my previous post, and I won't rehash that, but you know, it's just something that we have to look at every aspect of what our culture has become and start to try to get back to a state where we don't have to worry about this anymore. Because like I said, 20 years ago, I don't remember hearing about this stuff. And it wasn't really that long ago. You're talking 2 decades. So what the hell has happened in 20 years that has caused this epidemic? I don't know. But these are my thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you like this, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and share. My name is Kevin Jackwoods. Cage Nation, out.